back in my arms. Now you're back where you belong. But baby, I still recall those crazy days. We found new ways of hurting each other. The magic was gone. Now it's come back just as strong. But now that we found ourselves a second chance, that doesn't mean that we'll have another. Please, let's give a little more this time. Let's try to keep in mind our love is on the line. Darling, please, let's give it all we've got. This could be our last shot. And so no matter what, let's remember to be kind. Give a little more.
Sure, yeah. I'll remember all that.
Good. I want to talk to you for a minute before the crowd starts to come in. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
You know, this could be the deciding day.
You optimistic?
Reasonably.
Reasonably? Come on, you got to be better than that.
I'm sorry. I don't want to mislead you. It all depends on if I can break Christy down on the stand.
Well, she's tough.
So am I, in case you hadn't noticed.
Basin, she hasn't shown any signs of weakening so far.
This is hardball now, though. She'll be on the stand, Ted. Everybody looking at her. She's already feeling the pressure. This should add to it.
This is kind of scary here.
Yeah, I know. Ted,
What?
this is easily the most important case I've ever argued. We'll get you off, I promise.
Hi. Hi. Mason said you were going to be here early. I wanted to see you before the
Thank
trial.
you.
Look, I'll give you guys some time alone. I have to get over to the house for a minute. I'll be back before court reconvenes.
Yeah, do remember to show up in court, huh?
Matt, give him 5 minutes alone.
Thanks, Mason.
I think you could use a little moral support right now. See you both later.
Okay. I don't remember.
Don't tell me you don't remember. Answer the question. How was the defendant behaving just before he raped you?
He expected me to make love to him.
Mother, we can't hear you.
Steve, I'm tired.
I don't care. You're going to get tired up on that witness stand, but they won't let you quit.
We've been at this for over an hour.
I'm going to keep going over it until you're letter perfect. Now, go on. You say he expected you to make love to him.
Yes, he said that I owed him a lot and that I should consider myself lucky to be with him.
Fine. Now, can you tell me if the man who raped you is present in the courtroom?
Yeah, he is.
Don't say, yeah, on the stand. Makes you sound tough. I want you to point to the man who raped you, say his name. Then you'll point to Ted.
I know, you told me.
All right. We can take a break then. I think you've got it down pretty well. Unless you want to go with the part about the bracelet, the fact that you were going to have it fixed, you weren't stealing it.
Would you quit it? Out of the thousands of lies I'm going to tell today under oath, there's not one of them we haven't gone over and over. I'm saying them in my sleep.
All right. We'll relax then. Now, we're agreed upon what you're going to wear, right?
I'm wearing what you picked out for me. I look like a jerk.
No. You look like a little girl. Poor but honest. I want you to have as much class as you can muster.
In other words, you want me to be like Lake and only poor.
Something like that.
Don't worry, I will.
One more thing. It's very important that you cry when you tell him about the rape.
I can't.
Christy, you have to.
How am I supposed to cry if I don't feel like it?
Once you get up on that stand with Mason Campbell hammering away at you, you won't have any trouble crying at all. At least that's what I'm relying on.
Thanks a lot.
The impression you make on the jury, Christy, that counts for everything. Do exactly as I tell you, and you'll be just fine. But do it. Don't deviate from anything we've rehearsed. You hear me?
Since Eden is nowhere to be found, I think you may have had something to do with getting Eden and Cruz back together again. If so, you should be very proud of yourself.
And I'll be much prouder if I can patch things up with Mason.
You will. I know how much you want his love.
That must be him now.
Now, I don't want you to let him upset you, all right? Just be patient with him. I'll leave you two alone.
Morning.
Morning.
Well, it looks like it's going to be another hot day in court.
Looks like it. What do you want to see me about?
Oh, just to thank you again for what you're doing on Ted's case. Tell you how much I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Something must be very, very wrong if you're reduced to paying me compliments. What is it?
Don't be so suspicious of me. I've just realized that I have been very unfair to you in a great many ways. One of the ways is that I have underestimated your skill as an attorney.
Why the sudden reevaluation?
Why, I realize now how difficult Ted's case is. And I've been able to judge for myself your workings in a court trial. I think you're handling yourself brilliantly.
Thank you.
I also want to thank you for the way you've been with Brandon. It shows that, well, I think you'll make a wonderful father someday.
I'm glad you feel that way. Is there anything else, Dad? I don't have long before court reconvenes.
Yes, there is one more thing. I want you to come back to work as my lawyer for Capwell Industries.
What's really behind this, Dad? You want to stop the Gillis lawsuit or something? Take away my control of Brandon's trust fund?
I have no ulterior motives, I assure you. And I would like you to move back into the house.
Well, I've gotten kind of used to living on my own, Dad. That would have to be temporary. And wouldn't be bowing and scraping to you anymore. Those days are past.
I wouldn't ask that of you. I respect your independence. That's why I think you would be a great help in running Capwell Enterprises.
Me, the man you once thought capable of killing Channing. Son you were so ashamed of, the one you disinherited.
I know what I've done to you, and I apologize. I'm asking your forgiveness.
One apology doesn't make up for the last 20 years, Dad.
I'm trying to do the best I can to do that right now. If you don't want to come back to work or move back with me, then don't.
No, I don't think I do, Dad. I don't want to set myself up for another fall.
Damn it, Mason. Don't you know how much I love you?
No. Only how much I wanted you to.
What really happened, Christy? Did you leave Capwell on?
That's utter nonsense.
What kind of
try to
man would you
tease
say
him?
Ted Capwell is?
He's a man who's on trial for rape, that's what kind.
Hey, let Christy talk to us. Christy, do you think he'll try it again?
That's enough. No more
Just
questions.
remember, we're on your side, Christy. Ted, have you got anything you'd like to say to Christy?
I just pray to God that she tells the truth in court.
Guess I should explain why I came here.
You don't have to. I'm just so glad you did.
So am I. But it's not because Dad put us together. It's not because I appreciate what you're doing for Ted, even though I do appreciate what you're doing for him.
You want to just chalk it up to the fact that we belong together and leave it at that?
No, I want to say it. But it's hard.
Yeah. Take your time.
It's just that I finally understand why you had to tell the authorities about my mother. I was angry, but it makes sense. I know that you have to do what's important to you and what you feel is right. I've always admired you for that. I was very hurt.
Yeah, I know it hurt. I know it hurt. It was just, I couldn't get out of it, you know. It was my job, and I had to do it.
I know. It's just when you tell somebody, especially someone like me, you're not gonna understand. But it became clear to me, and
Baby, if you only knew.
knew what?
I don't think anything ever hurt me more than having to hurt you. In fact, I didn't think it was possible to hurt that much.
I don't think I've ever missed anyone the way I've missed you.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Even when I was at my worst,
Even then.
you're the sweetest, the kindest.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get a big head?
No, but I'm gonna file this away. I'm gonna make you sign a statement.
I wish we had more time this morning.
Let's make time.
Oh, we gotta get to the courtroom now.
Yeah, right. Don't worry, I won't forget about you.
Hope not. I think it's really great what you're doing for Ted. Taking a stand for him. I know you have a lot of pressure on you.
I do my best work under pressure.
Oh, I remember that.
You know something?
I love you too.
Oh, please, don't leave. Come on, let's talk this out.
Frankly, Dad, I'm a little paralyzed. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I keep expecting the ground to open up and swallow me.
I can understand why you're suspicious and maybe surprised. I know what I've put you through, but I've changed my mind about a great many things. You know, I'm not too old to learn a few lessons. And I finally learned what I think is important to me in my life, and the things that are window dressing. My family. That's what's important to me. Every member of it.
Where's the Brooklyn Bridge? I suppose I'm to buy that, too.
Please, Mason, I'm speaking from the heart. Don't make me regret it. I need the love of my children very much. And I need to give love, too. You know, they're part of me. Although we may never admit it, we need each other. I'm just asking for a second chance.
I never thought I'd hear you say that. I've fantasized about it often enough. I just never thought it would actually happen.
Well, it has. You know, when you were fighting against the family, all I could see in you was anger and hatred. And that kind of feeling was inspired in me. Now you're fighting for the family, and I'm looking at a different perspective of you.
I was always fighting for the family, Dad. It just wasn't such a popular cause back then.
Not always, Mason. You weren't always fighting for us. You were against us some of the time. You were against Channing and me, my values. But now I think something has changed in you, too, recently. I've seen you with Sophia, the way you want to help her, despite the mixed feelings I know you have towards her. You've stood by Gina, and now the way you're helping Ted, those things show me just how much you really do love us.
I never felt any other way. I mean, I know how much I've gotten on your nerves, how abrasive I can be. That's just my own peculiar sense of humor. But I never stopped hoping that you would one day relent and take me back. I'm just astonished that it's actually happening.
And you'll come back and live here?
There's nothing I want more.
Thank you.
I'll get it.
I need to make a call, okay?
Of course.
What is it?
I have a gift for Brandon.
Well, I don't want you to see Brandon.
Gina, please. I did not come here to fight with you. I'm not even going to try and see him. I just want him to have this.
Oh, Brandon is out playing, and I'll think about giving it to him when I see him.
I want to talk to Cece.
No.
Gina, I insist.
Please take this. It doesn't do you any good to suffer through it.
You know how I hate taking pills.
I know you did, but the doctor wants you to take it, and so do I. And I don't think you should go to court this morning. It's too much for you.
Sophia, there's nothing in this world that'll keep me away from that courtroom this morning.
Cece, Santana's here to see you.
So I see. What is it, Santana?
I have something that I want to give to Brandon. I just want to make sure that you'll do it.
Certainly. And you're just in time to hear a very happy announcement I want to make to all of you as soon as Mason gets off the phone.
What is that?
I'm off.
I'm here. Just want you all to know that Mason and I have patched up our differences, and he's going to move back into the house.
Mason, it's wonderful.
Oh, that is wonderful. I'm so happy. It'll be just like old times.
Better than that, I hope.
I've been wanting this for such a long time. Thank you both.
Well, it's a great relief to me to have the family at peace again. If you'll excuse me.
Feeling all right, Dad?
I've got a slight headache.
I'm going to have to go down to the guest house to get some things, but I just want to tell you how happy I am for you.
Thank you, Sophia.
It's just going to be so good for all of us. I've wanted also peace in this family ever since I came back.
I'll do my best not to upset things.
Thank you.
Well, I think I'll be going too.
Why don't you do that? Mason, how did you manage it? You never cease to amaze me.
Dad made the first move. I don't think I could have.
Well, it doesn't really matter just as long as it happened. It's going to mean so much to me to have you living here. You're the only one I trust.
Well, I'll do my best to prove trustworthy.
You've already proven yourself, Mason. I want to talk to you.
I want to talk to you, too. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling just fine. But I want to ask your advice about something.
What?
Well, I don't think we should talk here. I can meet you at your apartment later on.
You don't have to be tonight. You know, I'm in court all day.
Yeah, tonight will be just fine. Now, don't say anything to anybody. I wouldn't want people to think that we're conspiring together.
Oh, no, that wouldn't do at all. Don't worry. Our secret is safe with me. What do you got, Cruz?
Oh, hi, Mason. This is everyone we've come up with so far who could have had a connection to the shirt the rapist may have been wearing. Two of them are in Europe. We weren't able to contact these two.
Wonderful. They're probably the ones we want. What are these checks here?
Those are the ones we're checking alibis for, and the rest are names we haven't had a chance to look into yet.
Even the least tie-in with Christie.
Right, that's what I'm looking for.
And did prosecution get a copy of this yet?
I sent one over to Bassett's office.
Good. We wouldn't want to appear underhanded, would we?
Oh,
Mason?
no. I didn't want
Would you excuse me for a moment, Cruz?
to. Certainly.
You can have this back now.
Did you listen to the tape?
Yes, I listened to some of it, I'm ashamed to say, and I want you to know I'm more than ever convinced of Ted's guilt.
I don't believe you. I can tell by the look on your face that it had some effect on you.
No, the only thing that tape told me is that you have a real gift for bending the truth to your own purposes. I suspected that already.
We all bend the truth, Mary. Otherwise, we'd be constantly at war.
No, we don't all bend the truth. To some people, truth is sacred. Did you think that I would be persuaded to change my mind and then influence Christie on the basis of that tape? I mean, is that what you had in mind?
Had occurred to me, yes.
Oh, well, you're out of luck, Mason, because no one is going to fight you harder than I am. And I hope that jury in there and the people of Santa Barbara can see through the lies that you and your brother are telling.
You know, Mary, you're smug, hypocritical, and closed-minded. That's the worst combination I can think of.
I'm going to hope that my testimony yesterday didn't hurt Christie's case. In fact, I'm going to pray about it.
I apologize to all of you for the heat. It seems as though they were unable to fix our air conditioning overnight, so it looks like we're going to have to suffer through another day of this. Mr. Patterson, are you ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor. At this time, we would like to call Christie Duval to the stand.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case now pending before the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated.
Will you tell us your full name, spelling your last, and give us your address, please?
Christine Ann Duval, Duvall, 4500 De La Vena Street,
And your age?
18.
Now, Christy, let's go directly to the night of July 17th, the night you were raped by Ted Capwell.
Your Honor, objection?
Yes, of course you object, Mr. Capwell. I object. Do you know better than that, Mr. Patterson? The objection is sustained. The jury's instructed to disregard that last remark. Let's have no more of that.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Tony, you all right?
Yeah. I'm fine. It's this heat. Christy, now I would like you to tell us exactly what happened on the night of July 17th. You and Ted Capwell had an argument that night, didn't you?
Objection, leading the witness. If anything did happen that night, I'm sure she can remember it without being prompted.
You're right. Mr. Patterson, this isn't the most auspicious beginning.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I will rephrase the question. Will you tell us, please, in your own words, what happened between you and Ted Capwell on the night of July 17th?
Well, we had an argument.
Christy, you're going to have to speak up, please.
I said we had an argument. Ted was pretty worked up that night. He had a fight with his girlfriend, Lakin. And, well, for months now, he's been trying to get it on with her, and she...
Excuse me. Get it on with her. Now, could you clarify that expression, please? I want to be sure that we all understand what it is you're trying to convey.
Well, make out, I don't know what the legal word is. Sleep with her, I guess. Only she kept turning him down.
Objection. This is purely speculative on the part of the witness. She has no way of knowing Ted's thought processes at the time.
He told me.
Oh, well.
Mr. Ball, please don't volunteer anything. Just respond directly to the question.
Sorry.
I'm going to let it stand for now, Mr. Capwell. I don't find it material. Please go ahead.
Well, he did tell me. See, whenever she'd refuse him, he'd come to me for sympathy. Twice he made passes at me. He was real lonely.
Did you ever encourage him in any way?
No, I was never interested in him that way. I just thought of him as a friend.
Go on.
Well, anyway, he was pretty uptight that night, and he walked into the atrium at the house, and he found me looking at this bracelet that he had given Lakin. And he went like totally crazy. He thought I was going to steal it or something. I mean, why would I want a stupid bracelet anyway? But anyhow, we got in a fight, and somehow the bracelet got broken, and that's when he really hit the roof. He was really mad, and I got scared, so I just took off.
Did you have the bracelet in your possession at the time?
Yes, but only because I was going to get it fixed. I was raised that if you break something, you fix it.
Yes, and then you went to the snack bar at the beach?
That's right. My friend Jade Perkins works there. We were going to go to a party afterward, but she had to drop off a coworker, so I waited there for her, and that's when Ted came, and that's when he did this to me.
I know that this is extremely painful, Christy, but I must ask you to tell us, what did Ted Capwell do to you that night?
He raised me. He hit me when I fought him, and he raped me.
Christy, do you see the man who did this to you in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
Would you point him out to us?
He's sitting right there.
Let it be noted that the witness indicated Ted Capwell. Christy, thank you very much. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Your witness.
Mr. Capwell, cross-examination.
Oh, yes, indeed. Christy, I know how painful this must be for you. I know that you were raped, and that is a terrible tragedy. We all sympathize with you. We want to make this as easy for you as possible. But you must remember that you're under oath, and therefore you must tell the truth at all times, no matter how painful it is. You do understand that, do you not?
Yes, of course.
Good. Now, Christy, isn't it true that Ted Capwell was helpful to you practically from the day you arrived in Santa Barbara?
Yes.
Did he help you find work?
Yes.
On more than one occasion, if I'm not mistaken. First at the Orient Express restaurant, and then later on in his father's home as a babysitter for his young stepbrother. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And did he help you find friends so that you would have acquaintances in Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
In fact, on one occasion, I believe he drove you to your mother's home in Ventura for her birthday party. You had missed your bus, and he drove you back to the home that you had run away from. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did he ever, during all of that time, on any of those occasions, try to take advantage of you in any way, sexually or otherwise?
Well, no. Well, he made passes at me. Yeah, a couple times. I knew what he wanted.
Well, did he touch you or kiss you?
It was what he said.
Isn't it possible, Christy, that you mistook Ted's generosity for something else?
No, I'm sure that he wanted to sleep with me.
You're sure, I see. Well, let's go back over some of your previous testimony. The incident of the bracelet, for example, you stated, and I think I'm quoting you correctly, that he, quote, went like totally crazy, end quote, when he thought you were trying to steal it that night.
That's right, he did.
Well, do you think that's because he's paranoid on the subject of theft, or might he have had some legitimate reason to suspect you of being a thief?
You're talking about the accusations Mrs. Lockridge made, aren't you? I didn't steal those candlesticks. I was putting them back. I was just putting them back. I was looking at them, and I was putting them back, and she came in and caught me at it, and then she went and told Ted that I had stolen them.
So Ted got his information from Mrs. Lockridge?
I was right there when he was talking to her on the phone, and he told me just to never mind about it.
Yes, well, Ted is a very charitable person, as we've already established. Now, Christy, you say there was some sort of struggle at the house that night, during which the bracelet got broken?
Yes.
Well, if Ted wanted the bracelet that badly, why didn't you just give it to him? Why was it necessary for him to fight you to get it away from you?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Would you like the question read back to you?
No, I know what you said. I just don't think I know what you meant. I was pretty angry and upset.
Well, if you were so angry at Ted, why did you want to have the bracelet repaired? What difference did it make at that point?
I guess just because it was broken.
Yes, but surely you couldn't have felt responsible for breaking it if he'd been the one to actually rip it out of your hand as you testified. Could you, Christy?
Well, I guess I just felt like it was my fault.
Well, and if Ted felt angry enough about the incident to follow you to the beach snack bar, why didn't you just give it back to him then? Wouldn't that have appeased him and kept him from attacking you, if indeed he was inclined to do so?
Well, I guess I just wasn't thinking. I didn't have time to think. He was all over me.
All over you? Did you yell for help?
Well, what good would it have done? I could have yelled my head off. There was no one around. Everyone had gone.
Well, I assume people yell for help in the hope that there is someone around. Didn't you think it was worth trying if you were frightened of what Ted might do to you?
But I wasn't. I didn't think that he'd really hurt me.
Isn't it a fact, Christy, that you fought with Ted and scratched his face before he did anything to you at all? That Jade Perkins was there? That's what she said happened?
I didn't see Jade. I didn't know that she was...
Your Honor, Jade Perkins has already testified to what she did see.
I apologize, Your Honor, and withdraw the question. It seems that I'm falling into Mr. Patterson's tactics. Did you, in fact, Christy, scratch Ted's face before the alleged rape took place?
I don't remember. I guess I must have. I don't know.
Well, you said in one of your statements to the press that that night was burned into your memory forever. Is it just the details that have slipped away? Christy, isn't the real truth of the matter that you attacked Ted, that the only reason he followed you was to get his bracelet away from you? When he finally caught up with you, you attacked him without provocation and scratched his face?
No!
No what, Christy?
It happened the way I said it did.
Your Honor, how long is Mr. Capwell going to be allowed to badger the witness this way?
Is that an objection, Mr. Patterson?
Yes, it certainly is.
Objection overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Come on, Christy, let's hear the truth for a change. We've already heard scientific testimony to the fact that the physical fight you and Ted have could have accounted for the traces of skin and hair and fiber that were found on your body, as well as yours that were found on his. But there were other traces on your body, Christy. Traces that we haven't been able to account for.
I was raped. I was.
We don't dispute that, Christy. The question is, by whom? Now, if you had, in fact, been in close contact with another person, then there would have been evidence of that person on you as well. Your Honor, we ask that this be entered in evidence and marked Defense Exhibit next in order.
What is it, Mr. Kaplan?
It's threads from a man's shirt, not the defendants that were found on Christie's body that night.
So ordered.
I'd like you to take a look at this, Christie. Do you recognize these threads? Can you perhaps solve the mystery of how they got on your clothing that night?
Your Honor, we have... Oh, God.
Your Honor, we need medical attention.
What?
Court is adjourned until further notice.
You did so good up there, honey. We're all so proud of you.
I was so nervous.
You did fine.
You look so pretty. I just hope we got some pictures of you like this. Only one little criticism.
What?
Well, don't look so nervous when you're answering those questions. You just look him straight in the eye and speak right out. After all, you're telling the truth, so there's no reason for you to be afraid.
Lady, do you mind? I'd like to talk to Christy a little bit.
Of course. Well, we'll be right outside.
I want to talk to Mason for a minute.
Mary, what are you going to...
I know what I'm doing, Steve, okay? Mom, I'll meet you outside.
Well, don't be long, Mary.
I want to talk to you.
I'm sure you needn't sound so peremptory about it, though.
I saw what you were trying to do to Christy. You thought once you got her on the stand, you could trick her? Well, it didn't work, did it? Because she was telling the truth.
Apparently, you didn't see the same thing I did.
Oh, what was that?
She was getting pretty shaky there toward the end. If I'd been able to keep at her a little longer, maybe we would have gotten at the truth. It's a shame things had to happen the way they did.
A man has a heart attack, and you're upset because it interfered with your cross-examination?
I'm upset because it interfered with us finding out the truth, Mary. That's what this trial is about. Not railroading an innocent boy. Finding out who's really responsible for what happened to Christy. All right, I'll get another chance at her.
Yeah, another chance to browbeat and frighten her. I should think you'd be ashamed.
You know, I could say the same thing about Christy, but that wouldn't get us anywhere, would it? Look, if you really want to be useful, why don't you go comfort Christy? Because she's a very frightened little girl right now. You be sure and tell her that things are going to get worse before they get better. We give no quarter in cross-examination. Excuse me.
Mason, look, who do you think's gonna, what's gonna happen with this prosecutor now that Mr. Patterson's had this heart attack
I
here?
have no idea, Ted.
You don't think Mr. Bassett's gonna take over, do you?
Hadn't got enough courtroom experience.
Well, you sure have, man. You've been doing a great job. I mean, it's like I got Perry Mason for a brother.
Listen, Ted, maybe you should know. Dad and I seem to have patched things up. He's asking me to move back home.
You're kidding.
That's wonderful, Mason.
Yeah, he's also asked me to take over the legal work for Capwell Enterprises.
Well, that's great. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Maybe when all of this is over, you might want to think about moving home, too.
Oh, well, we'll see. But it just all depends on what happens here. Look, how long is this delay going to go on for, you know?
It's hard to tell. But treasure whatever time we have. Gives us more time to find the rapist.
Inspector Castile said to give you this, Mr. Bassett. A list of the possible owners of the shirt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks. Adrian St. Martin. Adrian, this is Steve Bassett. Remember me? Glad, yeah. Yeah, it has been a long time. Well, how are things with you? Well, listen, Adrian, the reason I called was because I was in hopes we could get together sometime soon and kick around old times. You would? Good, so would I. Well, listen, how about tonight? Free? Terrific. Yeah, I've got the address. Around 7? Wonderful. I'll see you then. She bought the shirt for me. Goodbye, Adrian.
I told you shouldn't go to court today. You can't afford to let yourself get upset like this.
I can't believe him keeling over right in front of me.
I know. Don't let it upset you.
Oh, I'm so glad to have a few minutes alone together with you.
Oh, me too.
No, I love your hair.
Thank you.
And your eyes.
Thank you again.
You know what I want right now, more than anything else in the world?
What?
Make love to you.
No wonder he's been ignoring me. She's finally won him back. And I've lost everything.
You were falling apart up there, right in front of everybody's eyes. Another 2 minutes and he would have nailed you. Christy, you have got to pull yourself together.
I did the best I could.
No, you didn't. I know you. I know how your mind works and exactly what was going through it today. You were hoping someone would figure out the truth. Then you think you'd be off the hook. You haven't been doing your best because secretly you want to be exposed as a liar. You think that if the truth comes out without your telling it, Ted won't be hurt. Well, you're not going to get that lucky, sweetheart. If anybody figures out the truth, Ted is going to die. I promise you.
I never thought anything like you're saying.
Sooner or later, you're going to give the whole thing away because you can't keep your mouth shut or you're feeling to yourself.
If you want to worry about someone so much, you better worry about yourself. Any time now, Mason and Cruz are going to start tracking you down. That was your shirt they found the fibers from. They're going to find out who did it.
I've got that base covered. Neither one of us has any worry on that score.
Coming. Hi, Gina. What is it?
Mason, are you alone?
Yeah, why are you so upset?
It's Cece and it's Sophia. A little while ago, I saw them together, and they were in the house. They thought they were alone, and Sophia was rubbing his shoulders and nuzzling him.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all so clear to me now. He hasn't made love to me once since I've been back. And I know he used to love me. Sophia put an end to that. There's no way I can get him back now, and I'm not imagining it.
Oh, I know you're not. I just recently found out how Sophia maneuvered to keep my mother away from Dad after the divorce. Looks like history's repeating itself.
Mason, tell me what to do. I feel like I should get a lawyer and file for divorce.
Oh, no, I wouldn't advise that right now.
Well, how can I live with him knowing what I know?
Because you love Brandon, Gina, and if you file for divorce, Dad is going to try to get custody, and with your recent medical history, he just might do it right now. I'd say swallow your pride and try to muddle through.
Mason is just so terrible. It's all so degrading.
Yeah, I know.
It hurt so much when I saw him holding her. You know, I really did love him. I've made such a fool of myself since I've been back home.
How'd you do that?
I've been trying to be seductive with him. I've been telling him how much I love him, how much I miss him. I've been understanding when he tells me that he doesn't want to make love. All the time he's been falling in love with Sophia. I hate what's going on, and I can't stand living in that house anymore.
At least I'll be back in the house now. You'll have somebody to talk to.
Oh, Mason, I'm so grateful for that. I'm glad you and Cece made up. You didn't deserve to be treated that way. I'm glad you're back where you belong.
Yeah, well, my inheritance hasn't been reinstated, but I hope that's just a matter of time. I want you to know that I mistrust Sophia as much as you do, Gina. And I'm going to need a friend, just as you will.
Oh, I heard what happened at court today.
Yeah, that was... I feel real bad for Patterson, but it sure was an inopportune time for me.
Do you think you can get Ted off?
I have to. Anything else is unthinkable.
I know you will. I have great faith in you. I didn't always. Isn't it funny how we became such good friends?
Funny and gratifying, too. I guess familiarity breeds contempt.
And it goes much deeper than just a friendship, Mason. You know that, don't you?
Yeah. Listen, I'm trying to take some things over to Dad. He's expecting me. Would you like to help me? Maybe you should get back, too.
Yeah, I'll help you, but you will stand by me, won't you? I can count on you, can't I?
As always, Gina. And would you get that bag there?
Sure. Do you want these books, too?
No, I'm not taking everything tonight. I'm just getting a few things over there, all right?
Yes. Oh, and Mason, I just want you to know, no one's ever made me feel as good or as complete as you do.
At least I serve some useful purpose.
Oh, you do much more than that.
Thank you. This is getting heavy.
Well, well. Wait until Cece finds out. He's never going to let Brandon have a mother like that.
I cannot believe that Ted has to go through this humiliating and idiotic trial. I mean, he's good and trusting. People take advantage of him.
He's lucky to have Mason defending him. I think Mason's doing a real good job.
I agree with you. But Christy, I mean, this thing should have never come to trial. It's such a joke.
Can we think about us for a second?
I always think about us. I mean, someone's got to think about you. Look what happens.
Forget about that way. I don't want to forget about us.
I won't if you won't.
Done deal. What if I were to put you on a witness stand? Do you think you could hold up?
What would I have to testify to?
The truth.
What if I turned the tables on you? What if I said, have you been interested in other women since we broke up? Santana, for example?
Has that been bothering you?
Bothering me?
What if I asked you about other men?
Objection, not a responsive answer. Well?
Absolutely not. Cross-examination. You want to have kids, and how many?
One at a time, I think. Do you really love me?
I don't know what you mean by really. I love you.
Do you know what the penalty for perjury is in this state,
This ain't
Mr. Castillo?
perjury, baby. I love you. I love you.
Well, I don't need to think about it anymore. I know my verdict.
Well, I'm like a jury that knows its own mind. What is that verdict?
Guilty.
Of loving you? I can't appeal. What's the sentence?
Life imprisonment. Loving me forever. And you have to make love to me. On the spot, and the sentence is to be carried out immediately.
Yes, Your Honor.